want to talk to you guys about pretty privilege as someone who's literally lived through being ugly and bullied for it and hot as hell now. Just for reference, this is what I used to look like. Just a disclaimer because I know I'm gonna get hate for it. I didn't get prettier by taking my hijab off. That literally has nothing to do with it. So my life pre-nose job, pre-Accutane, and pre-weight loss was pretty shit. And I really did feel invisible, and if someone took a second look at me, it wasn't because I was cute, it was because I probably had a really bad breakout that day. People would always ask me, what's on your face? They'd be like, you look like a freaking peacock. Pepperoni face, all you can think of. And boys was like a whole other thing. I just admired from afar. I just genuinely knew I would never end up with anyone because I was so ugly. Like legit no guy talked to me and like literally no one had a crush on me. And every time I formed male relationships, like friendships, it would never progress into anything. Like, you know, when like your male best friend like falls for you or something like that, never happened. I think also just having that anxiety about how you look also affects how your life plays out. So I compensated for my ugliness by being like super social, being super outgoing and loud and literally annoying. So let me tell you what happened when I started looking better. First of all, definitely more people wanted to talk to me, wanted to get to know me. And I guess the more that I grew up, the less effort I would have to put in to like talk to people. I feel like I sound a little conceited right now, but I promise I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying, before I grew up, I tried so hard to talk to people, to be friends with them. And then once I feel like I glowed up, people just approached me when I honestly, like now I don't want to talk to anybody, and it feels like people want to come up to me and make conversation. When I went to go apply as a host one time, I dressed super nice, did my makeup, looked really good, and they literally hired me on the spot, which never has happened in my life. It became kind of hard to form male relationships too because I didn't know whether these people wanted to sleep with me or they genuinely wanted to be my friend. And if people look twice at me, it's not because of my terrible skin, it's because, you know, they're like, let me take a double take. I just absolutely hate when people are like, oh, it doesn't exist. Like, you clearly have not been through it. Like, mentally, my life is so much easier now. Like, my anxiety has just pretty much disappeared in regards to my looks. Even like I've been weird all my life and then suddenly it didn't become weird when I wasn't ugly anymore. Like it just felt freaking horrible. And like I always hated when my friends were like, oh no, like you look good. Like if I did, people would not treat me like this or make comments about how I look, right? I unfortunately gave into the standards, got a freaking nose job and all that. And I won't lie, I don't regret it. And if you're watching this and you feel ugly by societal standards, I'm here to tell you that your acne is beautiful, that cellulite you got on the back of your legs is gorgeous, and your big nose is gorgeous. Like I swear to you, if I went to Afghanistan right now, they'd all make fun of my nose. They'd be like buchapaza, which means small nose because it's unattractive in that country. Thankfully, there are people that don't judge you for how you look, and you need to be friends with those people.
Story time of the worst female I met a few nights ago. Literally ruined my own surprise party. If you saw my last Get Ready With Me video, I was getting ready to go out in the city with some friends to celebrate the release of my new clothing line. Me and Jake went to one of my best friend's apartments. She actually threw me a surprise party. On her TV, she had a slideshow of all of my pictures from the website because I am the model. It was so beyond sweet.
나처럼 해서 OnlyFans 지금 lovely 꿈에 trending is holiday.
Part 2 of the worst female I met a few nights ago. She asked Jake if he was okay with letting me wear stuff like that, and of course he was like, yeah, she looks beautiful, and she was like, I could just never wear slutty clothes like that. And then everyone at the pregame was like, girl, come on, like, they're not slutty, like, look at what everyone else is wearing. And she's like, no, I'm just kidding, I'm kidding, you look good. Everyone, let's make a toast. Emma wanted to make a toast. Out of everyone there, she knew me the least. She wanted to be the first person to initiate a toast. At this point, we were all honestly really drunk, including Miss Emma girl. I think she was definitely the drunkest there, 100%. The more she drank, the more like passive aggressive that she got. Do you guys know those types of people? So I could tell she was really drunk because when she got up to make the toast, she was literally like falling over. So she gets up and she's like, cheers to Maggie's clothing line. What's the name of it again? I forget what it's called. It doesn't matter. Anyway, cheers to slutty clothes. It was kind of like awkward chuckles. And we're like, yeah, cheers. That really rubbed me off the wrong way. So passive aggressive, so unnecessary. We're not even that close for you to just make those comments towards me. Especially when you were just claiming that it's really slutty and if my boyfriend's okay with me wearing it. I'm like, all right, girl, like that's so unnecessary. There's no reason to say stuff like that. My friends look at me and their faces, they look so bad for me. Like I was upset because how could I not be? So at the pregame / surprise party, there was food and drinks there and we're like, we should probably eat something before we go out. At this point, I didn't even really want to go out. My whole vibe was ruined. We're eating pizza and of course Emma needs to say something. She goes, are you gonna throw that up afterwards? And I was like, excuse me? And she was like, oh, I'm just kidding, girl, I'm just kidding. You're just really skinny. Okay, if you are bringing up somebody's body image into something, you're automatically a horrible person. Like, keep that energy away from me and my surroundings. That's not when she got kicked out, though. At this point, she's very drunk and sloppy. She gets up, she says, before we go, I'm gonna make a final toast. She goes, hopefully your business does well. Judging by your clothes, I don't know how it's gonna go, girl. My jaw dropped along with everyone else. My sister runs over to her, grabs her champagne, and tells her to get out. She also said some other things I cannot repeat here on TikTok. At first, she refused to leave, but my sister didn't really give her the option. And my friend who brought her there felt so bad. She texted me the next day and told me that she cut her off and that was completely unacceptable and she felt terrible. Anyway, we did end up going out that night, but we didn't stay out long. My energy was just completely off and I wasn't in the mood anymore. To make it up to me, my sister is taking me out tonight for margaritas and tacos, my favorite. And if Emma is seeing this, I am wearing Raven's Nest. Here's my outfit. Cheers to slutty clothes. Raven's Nest is in my bio for those interested. Love you.
When I was 13, I made the worst decision of my life. It traumatized me so much. I'm now 19 and I regret it every day. I decided to move away from my family to a completely different city 2 hours away and live in an apartment with two girls I barely knew, one of them I had never met, to pursue gymnastics more seriously. The way this worked is Monday through Friday we had gymnastics and we would do like school upstairs online, and then every night a different parent would come stay with us in our 1-bedroom apartment, and then at the end of the week on Friday we would all go back home and then drive back up to the apartment Sunday night. So I would see my mom like once or twice a week, and then some of Friday, all of Saturday, and some of Sunday. Why she let me do this, I have no idea. Also, all three of us were about the same age and I was in 8th grade. The only good thing that came out of this is I met one of my best friends who was the girl I didn't know. The gym environment ended up being absolutely traumatizing and we were all being abused. Things went south pretty quick. We were all crying multiple times a day. We would cry before practice, we would cry at night anticipating practice, we'd cry after practice, and our parents were like, you made this decision, like you gotta stick to it, but I don't think they knew how bad it was. We all started to experience panic attacks and we just wanted to be home. I absolutely hated like every second there, and I'm pretty sure they did too. I have so many stories of just whack, horrible things that happened there. But like I said, there was one good thing that came out of it, and that was meeting my best friend, and she was the girl that I didn't know when I first moved in. We became inseparable like super quick. We did everything together, and when we weren't at practice or worrying about practice, we were like laughing. The whole time we were supposed to be doing school, we would be laughing. Like, I never laughed harder than I did with that girl. We would have movie nights like all the time, and since we were all staying in the same bedroom, we ended up making a fort underneath our beds because they were all touching, and we'd watch movies under there. My best friend ended up bringing her cat, and we also had a hamster. That hamster is a story for a different time, but we had so much fun having like the cat there. We were definitely all trauma bonded because we went through so much together. I still talk to the girl I was best friends with. I actually FaceTimed her the other night, and she's my best friend I've ever had in my entire life. I wish I could have met my bestie in a different way because the damage was so not worth it. This entire thing lasted over a year, so let me know if you want more stories from this time in my life because I have so many.
Get ready for a dinner with me, story time edition. So I'm gonna tell you guys the story of how I blew up on TikTok. So it all started in 2020 when unfortunately COVID hit. I'm sure as a lot of you experienced, school was transferred to online classes because of COVID. I'd met my boyfriend a few months prior to COVID hitting, so we both had some time on our hands and decided to start making couple videos. My page did not start in beauty, but your girl has always had a passion for it. So my boyfriend and I started making couple videos for about 3 months, and quite a few of them started to go viral. So I knew there was a lot of room for growth on the app and just continued posting 6 to 8 times a day. I know 6 to 8 times a day sounds crazy, but consistency really is key. So my followers at the time started commenting and asking me how I did my makeup. And since I'm super passionate about makeup and I've always loved it, I started to make tons of videos about beauty. As I continued to be really consistent with the beauty, the videos started to go viral. Going in with the Laura Mercier loose setting powder, go to part 2.